They look like pure magic, and sometimes it can seem like that's what you need in order to do stall chasers cleanly. Drex here from DrexFactor.com, coming at you with 3 of my best tips for mastering these devilish poi tricks called stall chasers. Before we dive in, I just want to give a shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow Toys, Pyroterra Light Toys, LMF Props, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links down in the description of this video. I remember the year that stall chasers hit the poi community, and wow, they dropped like an atom bomb. Everybody wanted to learn this trick, and it didn't even have a name yet. Some people dubbed them carryovers, and one even jokingly dubbed them the trick of the year. Not only are they a super slick poi move that seems to defy the laws of gravity, they also make for great transition tools, and even a perfect pose for photographs. It's relatively easy to understand what's going on in these tricks, but actually getting them super clean, that takes a little bit of work. So I'm going to break out my best 3 tips for getting your stall chasers clean and crisp and ready for any fire circle. Tip number 1, know the pattern. This is going to sound kind of obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people run into stall chaser problems simply because they're struggling with the trick's underlying pattern. It can help to do it with just one hand at a time to understand what's really going on here. Start with your poi wrapped up in your hand and stick that hand straight out to the side. Trace a full circle up and over past your opposite shoulder, then down and around and return back to the hand's original position. Immediately drop your hand back down and around past your opposite shoulder and up and over to return to its original position. So basically, you're doing a full circle, back and forth, always stopping your hand on its native side. Practice this with each hand individually and then put the 2 of them together. Think that one will drop down and around and catch the opposite hand as it passes by. The 2 will pass up and over your head together, and then the non-native hand will sweep down and around to return to its own side. From there, drop it back down and around to catch the other hand. Let them both travel up and over together and stop the native hand while allowing the non-native hand to return to its own side. Seriously, drill this again and again and again, and then yet again for good measure. This catching and pulling motion is absolutely essential for making your stall chasers read, as well as looking super polished. Tip number 2, focus on the top. I know that we all tend to focus attention on that really eye-catching moment on either side of the trick where we have one poi down and one poi up. It looks really pretty and it's a great transition into split time same direction tricks. But there's another much more subtle moment the audience picks up on at the top of the trick. Anyone who's tried to learn this trick knows that the top is the most difficult part. Getting those poi to cleanly stay in a straight line as they go across the top is the single most challenging part of this trick. And more than any other part of it, nailing that top part signals to your audience just how well you've got this trick down. The best way I know to really nail this is to practice with each hand and poi individually. This will be just like our last exercise, but this time you'll have the poi in your hand. Start by literally just going back and forth between a down and an up stall. Now we're going to tweak this just a bit, and I'm going to tell you a little secret. That moment up top comes down to you slowing down your hand. As you come out of the down stall, imagine that instead of pulling around for the up stall, that what you're actually doing is dragging the poi up and over. The less momentum you add to it, the better. You can let the poi swing around past your hand as you go along the bottom. When you come back from the up stall, slow your hand down as it goes across your non-native side. Imagine that your poi head is actually dragging your hand up and over your head as you do this. It will pull the tether taunt and give you that straight line you're looking for across the top. This is really subtle and it takes a lot of practice to really nail. But the more you can think about slowing down your hands as they go across the top, the more likely you'll get that nice straight line that really makes the trick pop. Tip number 1, stretch your arms. Without a doubt, this is my biggest pet peeve when it comes to watching people do stall chasers. When you perform them with T-Rex arms, it undermines the impact of the trick and makes it more difficult to get the clean lines you really want to see out of them. And yes, I know it's only a stepping stone. As you're trying to assemble all these pieces, it's only natural to default back to this spot. But once you're comfortable, really reach out and explore the world around you. If there's one thing I would point to in order to say that a person has really mastered their stall chasers and made them beautiful, it would be this. Eat up that space. It makes the trick look cleaner and your spinning look more dynamic. Volume is your friend. Cool, so those were my 3 biggest tips for nailing down and perfecting stall chasers. Do you have a tip I didn't cover here? Let me know, down in the comments. Stall chasers are one of my very favorite transition tools. Here, I'll give you just a brief taste of some of the wonderful things that I've found over the years coming in and out of stall chasers. you dug this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to guarantee that you'll see my latest videos when they get published. And finally, a shout out to my awesome supporters on Patreon. They are the reason that this video and all the videos on my channel exist. If you'd like to sign up to support the work that I do, please head on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and sign up. You'll get access to all of my videos before the rest of the world, plus great exclusive content, and a vote in what topics I tackle in the future. Thank you so much in advance.